So the new Attack on Titan opening has been getting a lot of criticism already, mainly because people are mad about Linked Horizon not doing the opening anymore. Aside from that, people have also been criticizing it for being too calm compared to the other openings, but I for one actually really like the new opening, so I wanted to do a video on it. Also, I haven't read the manga, so some of this will be mere speculation. Anyway, here we go. My analysis of the new Attack on Titan opening, Red Swan by Yoshiki featuring Hyde. We start off with something very familiar, a nice shot of Eren flying through the sky. It then cuts to Mikasa looking toward Eren and embracing the scarf that he gave her, while having sort of a sad expression on her face. We then see Eren running toward Mikasa and Mikasa holding out her hand trying to reach Eren. But before she has the time, it cuts to the flashback of Mikasa, Eren and Armin. It then cuts back to real time and we see the three looking toward the horizon. Looking toward the horizon is often seen as a synonym for looking toward the future. But it can also be seen as the three of them trying to find light, and therefore looking towards the most powerful source of light they can find, hereby the sun and themselves. Then the vocals start, and as the sentence "Veil in the Dark" is being sung, some dark ominous clouds start forming in the sky before the title finally illuminates the screen. The clouds here symbolizing a dark presence surrounding the main cast, which is not that uncommon considering the nature of Attack on Titan. When it then cuts back to the three of them in the past, the opening showcases how their past selves behaved. Mikasa walking beside Eren and looking toward him, Eren going around more freely and jokingly, and Armin jumping backwards as a sign of cowardice. Now this is where the opening starts to shine. In the next shot we see a still image of the three from the past in a very light setting, symbolizing the innocence of the three. The still image then fades away and it cuts to the real-time versions as they walk toward the camera. The setting got a lot more dark, symbolizing how everything around them and themselves became more mature, more dark and grim. As they walk toward the camera, we see Armin looking away from the others with a sad and frustrated expression on his face. And Mikasa's doing the exact same thing except the other way. Meanwhile, Eren is the only one who keeps looking forward with a determined face. The next couple of shots focus on Levi and Kenny, the one who apparently taught Levi everything he knows. We see Levi taking a knife and holding it threateningly. It then cuts to Kenny taking a quick look up at what I presume is meant to be Levi, and then almost immediately flipping his hat over his eyes again, refusing to acknowledge Levi, and instead choosing to look away. This has also been showcased in the anime so far, where Kenny often states that Levi is short, and that he hasn't changed at all from when he first met him. Then we get a look at young Erwin sitting with his dad in a room. It then perfectly zooms out to reveal adult Erwin looking through the window with contempt in his eyes. Here's where the speculation part comes into play. I suppose it could be because he somehow has hatred for his father, but somehow I really don't see that being the case. So I think he's looking in contempt since he saw how he and his father sat in safety while bad was happening everywhere else. But of course I can't be sure on this one, so moving on. We also get a short glimpse of Historia with what I presume is her mother, guardian, sister, or something along those lines, sitting in a field together. After that we cut to pictures of Eren, Mikasa and Armin fading in and out while what I presume to be Eren's hand is reaching toward them, not being able to grasp Mikasa, Armin, or even himself. While we see Eren's hand reaching toward Armin, we get to see a cut being made on his hand and blood starts flowing. This is because the way he transforms into a Titan is by making himself bleed. But the transformation isn't happening and we see Eren's fist clenching in despair. In the start of season 3 we saw that Eren had trouble transforming, so this is probably referring to exactly that. While Eren is clenching his fist, we see a drop of his blood fall down into the water, creating ripples, possibly hinting that Eren's mind is beginning to get cloudy and filled with disturbances. Also possibly connecting to his Titan form or just Titans in general. We then see a small glimpse of baby Eren with his family, and after that a shot of his family home, which then cuts to Eren trying to stand up, probably symbolizing the fact that he's trying to grow up and stand with a lot of the responsibility that comes with taking it all on himself. But right as he's standing up fully, his former self comes barging into the picture, symbolizing the fact that he can't shake who he is and that he hasn't fully matured yet. He's still in contact with his younger self. As his younger self clashes towards his body, his younger self looks kinda confused and goes around to see who he's bumped into. symbolizing that he can't fully recognize who he has now become. When his younger self realizes who he's looking at, he goes on the other side of Eren and gives him a slight touch in his shoulder, basically saying, "Keep going, you can do this." It then does a pretty nice cut to a flashback with Eren, Mikasa and Armin again. While they're running, we can clearly see that we're in front of Eren and Mikasa, but we're actually running behind Armin. This could be symbolizing that he's no longer the coward we see in the first season, but might actually be the one taking the lead this time. And while I didn't find any specific symbolism in the next shot, you've gotta admit, Eren looks pretty goddamn awesome. Later, while the three again run towards the horizon, we see Mikasa's shoe beginning to fall off. But before we see the end of that, it cuts to a nice shot of Levi and Erwin. Erwin being lighted up and portrayed as someone noble, while Levi is in the shadows looking more roughed up and just gazing at Erwin. It then cuts back to Mikasa's shoe landing on the ground, and to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what this could be referring to. However, I do have some ideas, and my best bet is that it's symbolizing the fact that either Mikasa is going to lose something essential to her, or she's deliberately throwing a part of herself away, depending on the context the shoe fell off in. It then quickly cuts to a shot of the infamous key, the key we saw Eren's father giving to Eren, which probably gives us an idea of its relevance. But the shot is near the end and it's very short, still maintaining sort of a mystery concerning the key. Then it finally cuts to Eren, Mikasa and Armin smiling while the words "Fly to Heaven" is sung. And to those who dislike this opening, I give you this. Like a falling angel, talking the If you still dislike the opening, that's opinions. We can't really change that. The only disadvantage to doing this kind of video is that because of all the repeats, this song will probably be stuck in my head for the next couple of days, so there's that. Anyway, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you're feeling up to, and I'll see y'all in the next video.